Welcome to Chad Hates Carbs. Today we're going to do a very simple peanut butter cookie recipe I've been meaning to do for a long time. My mom made these. She eats gluten-free, so she constantly is subbing out things as far as flours and whatnot, so she's kind of in the same general tact as I am, but these are some flourless, sugar-free peanut butter cookies she made back at Christmas time, so it's a number of months ago. Been meaning to make these for a long time, but just now getting around to it today. So it's pretty simple. There's not very many ingredients at all, just what you see here. So it's pretty straightforward, and it's kind of funny because there literally is no flour at all in these. So all we need is one egg, and we need a cup of sweetener. In this case, she likes stevia. I'm not a huge stevia fan, so I'm going to use use the sucralose here. Got a little bit of egg on my hands. Better than egg on your face, I guess. But yeah, I just, there's something about the stevia that just is kind of off-putting to me, and I've heard things about how stevia in cooking doesn't work as well, but I mean, everybody has their opinion of various things that are, you know, better or worse or whatever. So I prefer the flavor of the Splenda over the stevia. And erythritol, I'm kind of off of erythritol right now. I got to get some more of it, but I just got tired of it because of that whole cooling effect thing. But regardless, I need one egg, I need 1 cup of sweetener, and in this case, like I said, I'm using the sucralose, which is Splenda. This is the generic Walmart brand, because why not save money if you can? And then we need a teaspoon of baking powder. Teaspoon of baking powder. We want that. And we want vanilla as well. Half a teaspoon of vanilla. So we have half a teaspoon. Oops. Throw that on the floor. Half a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and slide that into our KitchenAid here. Let it kind of go at it for a second. I've got the oven preheating right now to 350, so that's the temp we're going for there. And once we've got this kind of going, that's looking good enough. It just kind of, as you can kind of see, it's a little bit drippy. It's just kind of loose, which is kind of what we want. Then at that point, we're going to go ahead and add peanut butter and water. And we need let's see, 1 cup of peanut butter. So I'm going to get my cup of peanut butter. Obviously, this is the thing that most of the cookie is, in terms of bulk, is just peanut butter. This is not low sugar peanut butter. This is just the kind of peanut butter you get at Sam's. So it is a little bit higher in carbs than a lot of people. So if you're on like early stages of Atkins, I would not recommend this, because the peanut butter, at least this kind of peanut butter, if you make your own, obviously you don't have to add any sugar, and so then you're just dealing with the carbohydrates that are in the peanuts themselves. But this does have a little bit of added sugar to it. So yeah, if you're on a super strict part of your diet, you should probably not have these cookies. Stick to the stuff that is like the cream-based stuff that I've done before, where it's just cream and sweeteners instead. So that's a cup. So now we want to put this and the water, and it's only asking for a teaspoon of water. So I think that's more just for making sure that it's still at least a little bit malleable. I'm going to go ahead and start that up as I'm scooping out the rest of this. It says that the key is to make sure that the peanut butter is mixed in, and that should be fairly obvious why, because you don't want to have, you know, chunks where it's just peanut butter. Well, I don't know. I kind of like peanut butter, so. Darn, I got peanut butter on my hands. I need a teaspoon of water. Go ahead and slap that in there. Okay. So that's definitely, there we go. That's kind of what I was expecting. So it's all, at this point, it's kind of got this kind of cakey. It's not runny at all at this point. It's pretty dry, which is what you want, so that you can ball it up and turn it into cookie-looking things. That's a technical term, by the way. Okay, so one last thing you can do, and I'm going to do this. This is creamy peanut butter. Obviously, if you used crunchy peanut butter, you would just have peanut chunks in there. But what you can do is you can take peanuts, and it's asking for 1/3 of a cup chopped. 1/3 of a cup. Let's just do a handful. And let's go ahead and chop these up. You can just crush them if you want, or you can, because if you just use a knife, you can crush into smaller pieces, because you really don't want to put it in a blender or something. Because if you put them in a blender, obviously you're going to get teeny tiny pieces, and that's not necessarily something you want. And then you can just kind of do a rough chop through the nuts. So I like to do it that way, where I break them with the flat of the blade and then come back through and chop with the knife. And yeah, having good knives is important, because if you don't have good knives, this is much more painful. And my wife got me started on good knives when we first got married, and this is actually a knife that's almost 20 years old, because we bought it right when we got married, and they've been a great set. Wusthof. Spent a lot of money, but when you only buy knives one time in your marriage, it's a good investment, kind of like a good marriage. Okay, so we're going to add this then to the mixture, because I do like the rough cut peanuts in my cookies. If you don't like that, you can just leave it out and make them that way. But I'll go ahead and we'll slap this back on the mixer, and let the mixer mix in that stuff. Just to kind of get it stirred throughout. Obviously, it's not going to be uniform. And then we will. Oh, that works much better. Okay, let's go ahead and get that off of there. There. Okay. So, with that, we're going to. It says go ahead and do about a teaspoon size when you're making the cookies, a heaping teaspoon. So I think I'm going to go ahead, I guess I'll just use a regular spoon here. I'm just going to take it and slap it down. And then I'm going to, they're saying use the fork to mash it down, like in that standard crisscross method, which, is fine. And I don't mind making my cookies a little bit bigger, because I'll probably just eat one cookie if I'm feeling like eating a cookie. But you just spoon them out and crush them down. I'm going to go ahead and scoop them all out. I'm not sure exactly how many this is going to make. It says 20 small cookies, and obviously if I'm making bigger ones, they're not going to be small. So let's see. I don't know if that's gonna be too many probably. So let's just do 4 by 3. Move that over. There we go. 4 by 3 is 12. So I guess if it's saying 20 cookies, then I'm just a little bit more than that. If I'm even remotely correct in my divvying up. it's not the same size as this other stuff. Just trying to kind of make sure these are kind of similar in size. But obviously I'm not going to have the same amount on all of them. So that's what, 12, 16? Yeah, so I'm just slightly short of 20, so I guess my cookies aren't quite as big as I thought in comparison to what they were expecting. So we'll do that one, and then take the last dregs of this for one more. Alright, got a bunch of cookies now. So now we slap them in here. Looks like, let's see, pull it up again. I think it was 15 minutes. 15 minutes. We're at 350. Just do one sheet at a time because otherwise it messes up the heating. So let's do 15 minutes. And there we go. So that's 15 minutes. It says we're looking for them to be firm and lightly browned. So let's check. It's got a little bit of browning around the edges. I'm going to put them in for another minute. For one more minute. And then we'll check back. So there's another minute. Let's see what we're doing. Definitely a little bit browner and much more firm. So I think we're going to call that good. Set those down there. Swap pans, probably should have done this the other way to begin with. Let's go ahead and pull these off. I'm using a sill pat here. Really like that because then I don't have to use cooking spray or anything. You just cookies come off super easy. Yep. Pulling that one. Get those off. And get them cooling. And then we can slap these other ones in here. I'm going to go ahead and just set these in for 16 minutes because that's what these other ones needed, so we'll go with that. Do I want to eat one right away? Yeah, might as well. Not super hot yet. At the bottom, they're probably a little bit brown, so maybe 16 was a little much, but woo! Hot. That's really good. The texture is super powdery. It's really good though. Okay, I might have to eat 2 cookies. That's really good. They definitely are peanut butter cookie-like though. I mean, they have that stick through of your mouth. That great peanut butter flavor. I mean, obviously it's mostly peanut butter, right? So, anyway. Definitely a keeper. So thanks, Mom, for the recipe. and we'll catch you guys next time. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Chat Aids carbs recipes coming your way.